On the fringes of known space, where starlight danced upon the black canvas of the universe, Dr. Alara Voss adjusted her visor and peered through the observation window of her ship, the Vigilant Star. It was a small vessel, but it had carried her across galaxies in search of knowledge. Today, however, she sought something far beyond her expectations, a buried secret of an ancient civilization. The lush green of the planet Amara 7 unfolded beneath her like a vast tapestry, dotted with ruins that told tales of a forgotten age. As she descended, her heart raced with anticipation. This was no ordinary archaeological dig, it was a quest steeped in myth and prophecy. Legends spoke of a cosmic serpent that once roamed the cosmos, a being capable of immense power, capable of either saving or destroying worlds. Landing amidst the crumbling stone structures, Alara gathered her gear and stepped out into the cool, humid air. The ruins loomed before her, their surfaces etched with intricate carvings depicting the serpent, its serpentine form coiling around stars and planets, eyes glowing with an ethereal light. She could feel the energy pulsing through the ground, a vibration that resonated with the very core of her being. With each step deeper into the ruins, Alara felt as if she was being drawn into the heart of the mystery. Her team, a small group of dedicated scholars and explorers, fanned out behind her. Kiran, the pilot with a penchant for adventure, cracked jokes to lighten the atmosphere, while Jax, the engineer, tapped away on his handheld device, scanning for anomalies. Asha, the historian, walked quietly beside Alara, eyes wide with reverence for the history that surrounded them. As they approached a massive stone door, covered in vines and nearly obscured by time, Alara's pulse quickened. This had to be it, the entrance to the inner sanctum, where the artifact was rumored to lie. They worked together to clear away debris, uncovering symbols that glowed faintly in the darkness. With a heave, the door creaked open, revealing a chamber bathed in an otherworldly light. At the center, resting on a pedestal, was the artifact, a crystalline structure that shimmered like a star caught in a web of dark energy. As Alara stepped closer, she felt a pull, an inexplicable connection that made her heart race. The air crackled with energy as she reached out to touch it. In that moment, visions flooded her mind. Vast cosmic landscapes, the serpent slithering through the stars, and shadows of an approaching darkness. Each image felt like a warning, a piece of a puzzle that was just out of reach. The artifact pulsed beneath her fingertips, and with it, the whispers of the past echoed through her thoughts. This was not merely an object, it was a key to something monumental. Suddenly, her comm device crackled to life. The voice of the Galactic Council's representative, Commander Hale, sliced through the ethereal atmosphere. Alara, report your findings. We need concrete data, not legends. Alara's heart sank. The Council had always been skeptical of her beliefs in the ancient myths, and now, as she stood on the brink of a discovery that could redefine humanity's place in the universe, she felt the weight of their doubt pressing heavily upon her. I can't explain it yet, she replied, her voice steady despite the turmoil within. But we found something extraordinary. She turned her gaze back to the artifact, determined to unravel its secrets before the Council dismissed her once more. As she prepared to document her findings, a tremor shook the chamber, and the whispers grew louder, urging her to act quickly. The cosmic serpent was awakening, and with it, a warning echoed across the stars. Humanity's destiny was intertwined with the fate of the universe, and time was running out. As the tremor subsided, Alara steadied herself, glancing at her team. Kiran's brows furrowed in concern, while Jax fiddled nervously with his scanning device. Asha, meanwhile, had stepped closer to the artifact, her eyes shimmering with excitement and reverence. It was clear to Alara that this discovery had ignited a fire within them all, but she sensed a darker undertone creeping into the atmosphere, a lingering fear that perhaps they were not alone in their quest. Stay alert, Alara said, her voice low. We don't know what else might be lurking here. The air grew thick with tension as they resumed their examination of the chamber. Ilara's mind raced with possibilities, envisioning the implications of their findings. If the cosmic serpent truly was awakening, what forces would be drawn to it? Her thoughts were interrupted by Jax, who had detected an anomaly in the artifact's energy readings. "Something's off," he muttered, peering at his device. "The readings are fluctuating wildly. It's like it's responding to our presence." "Responding how?" Kirin asked, glancing over Jax's shoulder, his curiosity piqued despite his earlier skepticism. "It's as if it's searching for something it's lost," Jax replied, a frown creasing his forehead. "We should be cautious. If it's linked to the serpent, we may be tampering with forces we don't fully understand." As they debated their next steps, a distant rumble echoed through the chamber, vibrating the very walls. Ilara's instincts screamed at her to leave, but the thrill of discovery kept her rooted in place. Suddenly, the stone door they had entered through slammed shut with a deafening boom, plunging the chamber into darkness. Panic surged through the team. "Ilara!" Asha exclaimed, her voice laced with fear. "What do we do?" "Everyone, stay calm," Ilara said, forcing herself to think clearly. "Let's regroup and find another way out." In the flickering light of their devices, they scanned the chamber for alternate exits. The walls were adorned with more carvings, their meanings now obscured in the dark. Ilara reached for the artifact, feeling its cool surface beneath her fingers. The moment she touched it again, a surge of energy coursed through her, illuminating the room in a brilliant flash. Visions flooded her mind once more, the cosmic serpent coiling around stars, its eyes alight with wisdom and warning. But now she also saw shadows, dark figures lurking in the cosmos, drawn to the artifact's awakening. It was a chilling sight, and she felt a sense of dread wash over her. Before she could process it, the stone walls began to shake. Cracks spiderwebbed across the surface, and dust rained down. "We have to move now," Kirin shouted, urgency infusing his tone. They raced towards a narrow passage that had opened amidst the chaos, instinct driving them forward. As they navigated through the crumbling ruins, Ilara's mind raced with questions. Who else knew about the artifact? What dark forces were now in pursuit? The passage led them to a large chamber filled with strange machines and artifacts, relics of the ancient civilization that had worshipped the cosmic serpent. They stumbled upon a control panel, and Jax quickly started deciphering its functions. "This might be a control mechanism for the artifact," Jax said, excitement bubbling beneath his anxiety. "If we can activate it, maybe we can reopen the door." Ilara nodded, her heart pounding in rhythm with the urgency of the moment. As Jax worked, Kiran kept watch, scanning the shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of their own. Suddenly, a low growl reverberated through the chamber, chilling Ilara to the bone. From the shadows emerged figures cloaked in darkness, their eyes glowing with malevolence. The rogue faction had arrived, drawn by the same whispers of the cosmic serpent. "Looks like we're not the only ones interested in the truth," Kirin said grimly, his hand instinctively reaching for his sidearm. With the artifact pulsating behind them, Ilara realized that their journey was only just beginning. They were no longer just seekers of knowledge. They were now embroiled in a cosmic conflict, and the fate of the universe hung in the balance. The chamber shadows deepened as the figures stepped forward, their eyes glinting with a predatory hunger. Cloaked in tattered robes that seemed to absorb the dim light, they formed a semicircle around Ilara and her team, blocking any potential escape routes. The leader, a tall figure with a scared face and an aura of confidence, stepped forward, a cruel smile playing on his lips. "Dr. Voss," he drawled, his voice smooth yet threatening. "I've been looking forward to this moment. The cosmic serpent has whispered your name." Ilara's heart raced, recognizing the man as Kale, a notorious treasure hunter with a reputation for ruthless ambition. She exchanged a glance with Kiran, who shifted slightly, ready to defend them. "What do you want?" Alara asked, trying to keep her voice steady despite the fear bubbling beneath the surface. Your little expedition is more than a mere archaeological dig, Kale replied, his eyes narrowing. You found the serpent, haven't you? And I intend to take it for myself. It's time humanity learns the true power of the universe. Behind him, the other figures stirred, their energy dark and palpable. Jax continued working at the control panel, oblivious to the danger creeping closer. Asha stepped protectively in front of him, her gaze fierce. You won't get away with this, Kale. Kale laughed, the sound echoing ominously in the chamber. You underestimate what I'm capable of, historian. The serpent is not just a myth, it's a key to unimaginable power, and I will have it. Alara felt the artifact's energy pulsating, responding to the tension in the room. Suddenly, a bright flash erupted from it, illuminating the chamber and revealing swirling patterns on its surface. The vision returned, clearer this time. The cosmic serpent coiled through the cosmos, its scales shimmering like the night sky, a protector of balance and peace. But lurking nearby were shadowy figures, agents of chaos that sought to consume the light. Stand back, Kiran shouted, instinctively moving to shield Alara and the others. But Kale raised a hand, and the shadows surged forward, a wave of darkness intent on overwhelming them. Before the darkness could reach them, Alara reached out, instinctively channeling her connection with the artifact. Stop, she commanded, her voice rising above the chaos. To her astonishment, the artifact flared, projecting a barrier of light that pushed back against the encroaching shadows. The rogue faction hesitated, their eyes widening in shock. Kale snarled, his arrogance faltering. What is this sorcery? It's not sorcery, Alara replied, her confidence growing with the artifact's energy. It's the power of the cosmic serpent. You have no idea what you're dealing with. Emboldened by her connection, Alara focused on the visions of the serpent, urging it to awaken fully. The energy intensified, and the air crackled as she felt the serpent's essence flowing through her, merging with her spirit. Images of celestial battles and cosmic harmony filled her mind, and she realized that the serpent had been waiting for someone to answer its call. With a surge of determination, Alara stepped forward, the barrier of light expanding, pushing back against the darkness that threatened to engulf them. You cannot disrupt the balance of the universe, she declared, her voice echoing with authority. Not while I stand here. Cal's expression shifted from surprise to fury. Seize them, he shouted, rallying his followers. The rogue faction surged forward, but the barrier held strong, a radiant shield that repelled their attacks. In that moment, Jax, who had been silently working, found the right sequence on the control panel. I think I can reverse the energy flow, he shouted. It might amplify what Alara's doing. Do it, Alara urged, maintaining her focus on the barrier. As Jax activated the panel, the artifact surged with light, sending a shockwave through the chamber. The barrier pulsed, brighter than before, and a magnificent serpent-shaped apparition formed within it, coiling protectively around Alara and her team. The rogue faction faltered, their dark energy dissipating in the face of the serpent's brilliance. Kale stumbled back, his expression shifting from anger to fear as he realized he was no match for the awakened power. Retreat, he yelled, scrambling to pull his followers back into the shadows. As the last of the darkness was pushed away, the chamber was filled with radiant light, illuminating the ancient carvings that had once been hidden in shadow. The vision of the cosmic serpent loomed large, majestic, and awe-inspiring, a guardian awakened at last. Alara stood firm, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and exhilaration, knowing that this was only the beginning of their journey. The cosmic serpent had awakened, and its power would guide them through the trials to come. With the rogue faction temporarily thwarted and the cosmic serpent's apparition fading, Alara stood breathless in the aftermath of the battle. The glow of the artifact pulsed gently, a reminder of the extraordinary power they had barely begun to harness. Her heart raced not only from adrenaline, but also from the weight of the knowledge that lay ahead. The Serpent's awakening was just the first step in a far more complex journey. "We need to gather the relics," she said, her voice steadying as she turned to her team. The Cosmic Serpent indicated that they hold the key to restoring balance and preventing future chaos. Each relic is tied to ancient civilizations that understood the Serpent's importance. Asha nodded, her eyes bright with resolve. "We can't let Kale and his faction get to them first. We'll need to be swift and strategic." Kieran cracked his knuckles, a grin spreading across his face. "Count me in. I've always wanted to be a treasure hunter. This is going to be epic." Jax, still recovering from the intensity of the battle, clutched his device tightly. "I've been studying the coordinates from the artifact. The relics are scattered across different planets, each one uniquely connected to the mythology of the Cosmic Serpent. We need to be careful, though. There are guardians protecting them." Alara glanced at the coordinates displayed on Jax's device. The first destination was a planet known as Thelia 9, renowned for its lush jungles and ancient ruins. Legends spoke of a temple dedicated to the Cosmic Serpent, where the first relic, a ceremonial dagger infused with celestial energy, was said to reside. "Let's move," Alara urged, and they swiftly made their way back to the Vigilant Star. The ship hummed to life as Kieran powered it up, and within moments, they were blasting off into the depths of space, determination propelling them forward. The journey to Thelia 9 was filled with both anticipation and tension. As they entered the planet's atmosphere, thick greenery enveloped them, vibrant and alive. Kieran expertly navigated the ship to a clearing near the temple, and they disembarked, weapons at the ready, the weight of their task heavy on their shoulders. The jungle was alive with sounds, birds calling, insects buzzing, and the rustle of leaves. As they trekked toward the temple, the air thickened with humidity and the scent of damp earth. The ancient stones of the temple emerged from the foliage, adorned with carvings depicting the Cosmic Serpent in various stages of its mythical journey. "Look at these," Asha said, running her fingers over the carvings. "They tell stories of the Serpent's battles and victories. We must respect this place." Alara felt the artifact's energy pulsing softly within her pocket, a gentle reminder of their purpose. As they entered the temple, the atmosphere shifted. Dim light filtered through cracks in the stone ceiling, casting eerie shadows across the altar at the center of the room. "Where's the dagger?" Kieran asked, scanning the area. Suddenly, a low rumble reverberated through the ground. Alara's heart sank as the temple began to shake. From the shadows emerged a guardian, a massive stone serpent, its eyes glowing with a fierce light. It coiled protectively around the altar, ready to defend the relic. "Stay back!" Alara shouted as the creature lunged, its stone body moving with terrifying speed. Jax scrambled to access his device. "I can try to decipher the runes. There might be a way to communicate with it." "Do it, quickly!" Alara yelled, drawing her weapon. Kieran moved to flank the guardian, agile and alert, while Asha raised her voice, chanting an ancient incantation she had memorized from her studies. The guardian paused, its glowing eyes shifting to Asha, as if recognizing the resonance of the serpent's history. Alara focused on the artifact, channeling her connection. The dagger was a symbol of peace, not a weapon, she thought, willing the guardian to see their intentions. "We come to honor the serpent and restore balance," she pleaded, her voice steady despite the danger. As the guardian hesitated, Jax finally shouted, "The runes, they speak of a challenge. If we prove ourselves worthy, it will allow us to take the dagger." "Then let's do this," Kieran declared, his eyes gleaming with excitement. With that, the guardian reared back, awaiting their trial. Alara steeled herself, knowing that this was only the beginning of a quest that would test their courage, resolve, and belief in the power of the Cosmic Serpent. They were ready to face whatever came next. As the guardian serpent loomed above them, Elara felt a surge of determination wash over her. This was not merely a test of strength. It was a challenge of spirit, one that would determine their worthiness to claim the dagger. She turned to her team, their faces a mixture of fear and excitement. "Remember what we're fighting for," Elara said, her voice steady. "We're here to restore balance and protect the legacy of the cosmic serpent." The Guardian hissed, a deep rumble emanating from its stone form, and then lunged forward, its massive head snapping down toward them. Kieran dodged to the side, drawing the attention of the serpent while Jax frantically deciphered the glowing runes around the altar. Asha stepped back, reciting an incantation she hoped would calm the Guardian. As the creature coiled and struck, Kieran rolled beneath its snapping jaws, using his agility to keep ahead of its powerful movements. "We need to create a distraction," he shouted, eyes darting to the altar. "Jax, can you hurry up with that translation?" Elara called, dodging to avoid a swipe from the serpent's tail. "Almost there," Jax replied, sweat beading on his forehead as he tapped furiously at his device. The runes glowed brighter in response to their struggle, pulsing in time with the heartbeat of the temple. Elara focused her energy on the artifact, feeling the warmth radiate from it, connecting her to the serpent's legacy. "Guardian of the temple," she called out, her voice resonating within the stone walls. "We seek not to take but to honor. Show us the way, and we shall prove our worth." The Guardian hesitated, its massive form pausing mid-strike, the glowing light in its eyes flickering. In that instant, Jax shouted, "I've got it. The runes indicate we must demonstrate our connection to the serpent through a trial of wisdom and courage. We need to show it we understand its teachings." "Then let's do this," Kieran shouted, rallying his energy. As the Guardian prepared to strike again, Elara stepped forward, holding the artifact high. "We embrace the teachings of the cosmic serpent. Let us prove ourselves through our actions." She summoned the energy within her, channeling it toward the Guardian, projecting images of harmony, strength, and the serpent's protective nature. In response, the Guardian hesitated, its form wavering, as if it were absorbing the energy Elara sent forth. The room filled with light, and Asha continued her chant, weaving words of peace and unity into the air. With a mighty roar, the Guardian coiled back, then surged forward, but this time it wasn't an attack. It transformed, its form shifting from solid stone to shimmering light, a reflection of the very essence of the cosmic serpent. It wound itself around Elara, enveloping her in warmth and strength. "Do not fear," Elara urged her team, feeling the bond strengthen between them. "Trust in the serpent." The Guardian's eyes softened, revealing wisdom and understanding. It no longer seemed like a threat, but rather a protector of ancient knowledge. Slowly, the Guardian unwound itself from Elara, revealing the ceremonial dagger embedded in the altar, glowing with a radiant light. Kieran, Jax, and Asha stared in awe as the Guardian stepped aside, granting them passage to the relic. "You have proven yourselves worthy," the Guardian intoned, its voice echoing like a distant wind. "Take the dagger and carry forth the legacy of the cosmic serpent." Elara approached the altar with reverence, lifting the dagger gently from its resting place. The moment she touched it, visions flooded her mind once again, the serpent leading civilizations to peace, but also the threads of darkness that threatened to unravel all they had built. "We need to hurry," Elara said, gripping the dagger tightly. "With this relic, we can strengthen our connection to the serpent and push back against the forces of chaos." As they prepared to leave, the Guardian offered one last piece of wisdom. "Beware the shadows that linger. The awakening of the serpent has drawn attention, and there are those who will seek to seize its power for their own ends." Elara nodded, the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. The stakes were higher than ever, and their quest was far from over. They had one relic, but many more awaited them across the stars. With a newfound sense of unity and purpose, they exited the temple, ready to face the unraveling threads of destiny that awaited them in the cosmos. The journey back to the Vigilant Star was filled with a profound sense of purpose. Alara clutched the ceremonial dagger, feeling its energy pulse in sync with her heartbeat. Each step resonated with the knowledge that they had taken a significant step toward restoring balance in the universe. Yet, lurking beneath that sense of achievement was an undercurrent of urgency. The shadows Kale had summoned were still out there, and they would not rest until they claimed the power of the cosmic serpent for themselves. As they boarded the ship, Asha eagerly examined the dagger, tracing its ornate patterns. This will not only strengthen our connection to the serpent, but also serve as a powerful symbol of our mission. We need to harness its energy wisely. Absolutely, Jax added, his voice tinged with excitement. I'll begin analyzing its properties and see if I can unlock its potential further. Kieran took the pilot's seat and initiated the launch sequence. Where to next? He asked, glancing back at Alara. We've got a whole cosmos to explore. Alara consulted the coordinates Jax had gathered earlier. The next relic is on Aronis Prime. It's said to be a crystal orb that contains the memories of the cosmic serpent. With it, we could uncover the truths of the past and foresee potential threats. Let's get moving, Kieran replied, setting a course for Aronis Prime. The ship hummed to life as they launched into the vastness of space. The journey was uneventful, but Alara couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. As they approached Aronis Prime, the atmosphere thickened with tension. The planet was a vibrant blue, dotted with crystalline structures that gleamed in the sunlight. However, beneath its beauty lay a sense of danger. The tales of the orb warned of guardians that tested not just strength, but also the purity of intention. Keep your eyes peeled, Alara cautioned as they descended toward the surface. If Kale is hunting us, he might not be far behind. The Vigilant Star landed amidst a field of glimmering crystals, casting prismatic reflections across the landscape. They disembarked cautiously, scanning their surroundings for any signs of ambush. The air hummed with energy, a reminder of the orb's presence nearby. They trekked toward a colossal crystalline structure at the center of a grove, its brilliance captivating yet intimidating. Alara felt a pull toward it, a connection deepening with each step. As they approached, the ground trembled slightly and a guardian appeared, a figure made entirely of shimmering crystal, its form shifting fluidly. Who dares seek the orb of memories? The guardian intoned, its voice echoing with the wisdom of ages. Alara stepped forward, holding the dagger aloft. We seek to restore balance and honor the legacy of the cosmic serpent. We come not to conquer, but to understand and protect. The guardian regarded her with its radiant eyes, and Alara sensed a weighing of intentions. To claim the orb, you must confront your past and reveal your true selves. Only those who embrace their truth may access the memories held within. Alara's heart raced. What must we do? Face the shadows within, the guardian replied. Your journey is not just external but internal. Share your fears, your regrets, and your hopes. Only then will the orb reveal its power. As they formed a circle, each team member took turns sharing their stories, their failures, their fears, and the hopes that had brought them together. Asha spoke of her childhood dreams of exploring the stars. Kieran revealed his struggle with doubt in his abilities. Jax shared his fears of inadequacy, of never being able to live up to the legacy of his family. Alara felt the weight of her own burdens lift as she confessed her fear of failure, of letting down those who had believed in her. With each story, a bond strengthened, weaving their fates together in a tapestry of trust and understanding. The air around them shimmered as the guardian nodded in approval. You have embraced your truths. Now, the orb of memories is yours. The crystalline structure glowed brighter, and the orb emerged, floating gently toward Alara. She reached out, feeling the warmth radiate from it, the memories of the cosmic serpent swirling within, ready to impart its wisdom. As she held the orb, a vision unfolded, threads of light and darkness intermingling across the cosmos, showing them not only the path to victory, but also the importance of unity in the face of adversity. With the dagger and the orb, they were no longer just seekers, they were guardians of the balance. They understood that together, they could face the shadows that threatened their world and restore harmony across the universe. As they prepared to depart Oronist Prime, Alara felt the weight of their mission settle upon her with renewed strength. The cosmic serpent had chosen them, and together they would protect its legacy, unraveling the threads of chaos and weaving a tapestry of hope for all humanity.